Hi guys, Barbara here, and I'm so excited today because I'm going to be making this wonderful lasagna. It's a very overcast and rainy day here in Southern California today. We're having a spring storm. So what better to make than some comfort food? Take a look at this. It is loaded with lots of wonderful things. Oh my goodness, I can't wait to dive into this. You're watching the Bear Pantry Show. Alright guys, so let's begin. Take a look. You're going to need some ground beef. You can use ground turkey, but the kids told me they wanted ground beef better because the turkey gets too stringy. This is 3 pounds. You can use half that amount if you want to make less. Some onions, diced up some cilantro. You can omit the cilantro if you want. Over here I have a pan that I'm going to use for it. I don't know where my old lasagna pan is, so I'm going to use this one. I have 6 of the noodles measured out. I have 6 more here, and then like 2 extra for this right here. And so, let me show you. Okay, this goes for the sauce. You're going to need a big can. I think this is a 28-ounce can of this crushed tomatoes. You're going to need 2 6-ounce cans of the tomato paste. And of course they have, I think, a big one that's 12-ounce. And then you're going to need 2 cans of tomato sauce. And this is the 8-ounce cans of tomato sauce. I'm going to use regular tomato sauce here. And then I'm going to use El Pato because it's hot. It's spicy. This is some fresh parsley, some Parmesan cheese, an egg. This is some mozzarella cheese that I'm slicing. I'm not going to grate this, okay? And I believe I have one more cheese in the fridge, and it's the ricotta cheese, and we're going to get to that in a little bit. So the first thing that we want to do to start off is get a couple of big pots right here, and just kind of get the stove going and dump the meat in. And we're going to cook this until it gets brown, okay? Then we're going to start adding the other stuff. So let's let that get going. So this is about 15 minutes later, and I'm just making sure that the beef gets brown. Now it's time for me to add my onions and cilantro, and of course you guys can add anything else that you like in the way of spices. Here comes the tomato paste, and remember it's 12 ounces, and then the crushed tomatoes. And now let me show you the difference between the regular tomato sauce and the El Pato. The regular tomato sauce is kind of thick. El Pato is very thin, but it's very hot, okay? So be careful with this. Now I'm just going to start off with half a cup of water at first because I want to make sure that it doesn't become too liquefied. And after stirring it, I realized I could use the rest. So here comes the next half a cup. And then we just want to kind of set this on the simmer burner and allow it to simmer for a while. So here comes the ricotta cheese. And this is a 30-ounce tub, but I'm only going to use half of it, okay? So about 15, 16 ounces thereabouts. Just dump it into a big bowl and then crack the 1 egg and lightly beat it. And then I'm just going to dump it in here with a little bit of fresh parsley. And I've never really used fresh parsley before. It smells pretty good. So then hit it with some salt and then just go ahead and move over to the stove now. Add some salt to my water and bring this water to a boil. Meanwhile, for the meat sauce, I'm adding some salt and some black pepper to taste. And see, my water's going. I moved it to this side of the stove because the other burner was cooking it too slowly. So now it's ready. Time to add my noodles. 14 pieces thereabouts. And don't worry, it's going to slide into the pot, okay? And just bring it to a boil in 8 minutes, okay? Nothing more than 8 minutes. Now I'm taking it over to the sink. Be careful that the steam doesn't burn you when you're pouring this off, all right? So just add some cold water to it to make the noodles stop cooking and to also to cool it down because we're going to need to start working with it right now to build the lasagna. So it's time to assemble the lasagna. So we have to go get the oven preheated. We want to set it on 375 while we work on the lasagna. For the first layer of building this casserole, I'm just going to go ahead and spread meat sauce first, okay? So 2 cups thereabouts of meat sauce on the bottom of the pan. And then now I'm going to go ahead and start my first layer of noodles. And I'm going to use 6 across this way. So I want to go ahead and kind of stack them on top of each other like this. And then the last noodle is going to go this way. Pretty easy, right? Now here comes the ricotta cheese spread. And if I had an offset spatula, that would come in so handy right now, but I don't have one, so I'm just going to use the back of my spoon. I promise in the future I'm going to go buy one of those spatulas because I need them for when I decorate cakes. Here comes the mozzarella cheese slices, and you may want to go ahead and pause the video and kind of write down the steps that I do right here to build this lasagna because there's going to be a science to it, I promise you. Anyways, here comes some more sauce. And I'm going to use about 4 or 5 cups right here. I'm just going to be lavish with it right now. And then the next layer is going to have Parmesan cheese. And sprinkle as much as you want to sprinkle, okay? I was measuring with a cup, but just go ahead and shake it from the bottle. And then here comes the next layer of noodles. And there are only going to be 2 layers of noodles in this lasagna. So this is the last layer of noodles. Now we're going to add the ricotta cheese spread again. And you know what? I could have used the whole tub, the 30 ounce, and just used 2 eggs. And then I would have gotten a thicker layer. But it's okay. You know, we don't have to be greedy. Here comes the mozzarella cheese slices again. It's looking fantastic, right? The only problem that I'm seeing is that this pan is 9 by 13 by 2. And the 2 seems a little bit too shallow right here. So I'm adding some more sauce. I'm hoping that this doesn't boil over. I don't know where my other lasagna pan is, and I don't want to use like my deeper cake pans to do this, because when you cook meat stuff in cake pans, it messes it up. So the last layer is going to be Parmesan cheese. I hope you didn't miss any of this. And then I'm greasing my aluminum foil with some butter because I don't want it to stick. I'm covering my pan and then over to the oven that's preheated at 375 degrees Fahrenheit, where I'm going to allow this to bake for 25 minutes covered. See, I put a tray on the bottom just in case it, boils over. And then 20 minutes later, go ahead and remove the cover and let it cook for another 25 minutes. Allow it to cool a little bit before we start slicing into it, okay? So let's get out the first slice. It looks so good and it smells good. I promise you're gonna love this, guys. So let's put it on our beautiful plate. And I always like to serve these things on beautiful platters. It's still hot. Rest it there because I want this to be my thumbnail. Gorgeous, right? Alright guys, so it got super warm in here right now because this baked for so long. It took about 50 minutes. 25 minutes covered on 375 and then 25 minutes uncovered on 375. Now the only thing that I would do differently next time is get a bigger lasagna pan, because you can see that it was over swelling and some kind of drain on that baking sheet that I had on the bottom to catch any excess. I just don't know where my lasagna pan got to. This was just not tall enough. It was 9 by 13, but just not tall enough, okay? But this came out absolutely great. I can't wait for it to cool down, for me to dive in. I want to thank you guys so much for watching the show. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Please share it with your friends and family for me. And until I see you guys again, take care. Alright guys, so for those of you who are familiar with the channel, you know that I normally upload videos on Monday nights and Wednesday nights. But for a little while, for the next couple of months or so, I'm only going to upload videos on Monday nights because my mom's dealing with a health crisis right now and I really want the opportunity to be there with her, okay? Thanks so much for your understanding. Thank you so much for liking the video and subscribing. Please check out my other 2 channels, the product review channel, Bear Pantry Talk, and come have some fun with my family and me over at the vlog channel, Babs Bear Talk.